Hello everyone, welcome to another training session from Token Minds. This one is for context engineering, the discipline behind reliable AI assistant for businesses. I'm Ugrit, AI engineer from Token Minds. So, what happens when AI assistant is not managed properly in business systems? We have seen so many cases in the past where AI assistant go rogue and cause losses on the company's benefits and trustworthiness. The same behavior is dangerous in business or enterprise settings. So why does LM become unreliable? LM doesn't work like a human mind. It forgets, it gets confused, it has no stable understanding unless we provide proper context to it. This is not an LM or AI model problem. It's a context problem. When we compare between the LM product and the API use, there will be some differences. On the user-facing LM products, for example, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, these products already help manage the conversation history and the context automatically. So after the user had a conversation with the LM, the system will programmatically collect the relevant information for the future use in the next conversation in the future with the users here. And it do so automatically. But when we compare to the LM API use case, when the businesses want to build their own chatbots or AI assistants and don't want to host the model locally, they can use the LM API service where they connect with these LM service providers, for example, OpenAI, uh, Anthropic, that provide the LM API services. Then, when they connect with the API, they will have to maintain the context perfectly across the conversations in order to remember and correctly retrieve the relevant information for the user. Otherwise, we risk inconsistent answers, lost important details, or have the fragmented conversations across multiple conversations between users and the system. This is where context engineering comes in, as it is very important for businesses to implement the LM API properly by implementing the context engineering. And when the businesses properly manage the context here, they can ensure that the AI will receive the right information, leading to consistent and reliable results. We can say that what the model sees matters more than the model itself. Even if you have the big AI model that is very smart, what the model actually sees are within the limited context window, so you have to manage it well in order to provide the relevant information for the AI model to answer to the users. ChatGPT or other famous platforms that created the similar products have been maintaining the window automatically, while the API users, when they make the API connection, this is not automatically done. The developers will have to manage this properly within the system, either by programs or by the AI agents. So, what is context engineering? Context engineering is the discipline of designing what the model sees inside the context window. It designs what goes into the context window, how it is structured, and when it is loaded. There are three layers of context engineering. In order to fix the earlier problem, the context must be engineered across these three layers. We have the retrieval, processing, and management here. For the retrieval, we have to select the right instructions, examples, and the knowledge. For the processing, we have to use filtering, summarization, and structuring of the information for the model to properly have the context within the limited window. For the management, we have to decide what to keep, what to forget, and what to store as the memory. The missing piece here is who manages all this context. The answer can be the AI agents. We can have the AI agents help us manage all this context. The core roles of AI agents in context engineering are that they can help us curate the context here to select the proper docs, tools, memory, and history to load. It can also help us structure the window here to organize the selected items into the system prompt, docs, tools, memories, and message slots. It can also update the memory to use the tool results and conversation flow to refine what gets used next time. And that is the building of the memory of the agent. So what happens when agents continuously manage the context here? So the AI agents will automatically incrementally update the context here, avoid the context collapse, and use execution feedback instead of the label data in order to automatically update the context every time it interacts with user. Within each cycle, the context improves on its own. Business can implement the context engineering by implementing these three methods here. First being using RAG to get the up-to-date data and relevant one in order to provide the context for the LM. Second, we can maintain the context here to only store the key information from the conversation in order to ensure consistent responses over time. For example, we can store the transaction that has been anonymized and also the previous history that has also been anonymized. Thirdly, we can also structure the context here to organize the relevant data into the format that the model can later process in the more efficient way. For example, we can try to store the data into the table format that we can later retrieve efficiently in order to get the summarization of what has been going on in the past. And based on this implementation here of the context engineering, the researchers have already found that we can see the improvements on the financial taxes benchmarks here. So we can already see that this would impact the business. So in summary, what context engineering can help solve for the business here is that it can help solve the drifting answering of the AI assistant. It can help solve inconsistent decisions, hallucinated details when answering, prevent confusion, and have the AI assistant continuously learn on the data. For example, it can learn on the past cases and not have to think every time it faces the same issue. It can just retrieve the memory to solve the future similar cases, and that could save cost and time. With this in mind, Token Minds can help you build the context engineered AI systems with our expertise in Web3 development and AI systems. Let us know if you have any interest. See you next time.